Back in the summer of 2019, in a dense, old neighborhood of Cleveland, Ohio, nights had a strange kind of quiet. I grew up in a part of the city where most people knew their neighbors, the kind of streets where kids still played until the street lights flickered on, and everyone thought it was safe. Too safe, maybe. I was 16 at the time, and weekends were the only escape from school, work, and all the small stressors of teenage life. My friends, Ethan, Dylan, and Marcus, lived close by, and we had our go-to spots for hanging out, mostly abandoned parts of the city parks. There was one park, a half-block from my house, that everyone called Pinecrest. It had an old baseball field, a squeaky swing set, and a weathered metal slide that twisted down like a coiled snake. The park was surrounded by thick clusters of pine trees, and the street just beyond it was barely lit at night. That Saturday, after grabbing pizza from Luigi's down the street, the three of us decided to ride our bikes to Pinecrest. The night was warm, humid, and heavy with the smell of freshly cut grass. Something about riding bikes in the dark always felt like freedom. The world felt slower, easier. We made it to the park and settled on the metal slide, leaning against the cool steel as we laughed about dumb jokes and swapped stories. Then, Dylan froze mid-sentence. "Wait, did you hear that?" We went silent. There was a faint thud, a soft, rhythmic sound, like something tapping inside the slide. I frowned. "Probably just a squirrel," I said. But Marcus wasn't convinced. A minute later, it happened again. This time, unmistakably a voice, a child's voice, soft, trembling. "Hey!" We all stiffened. There hadn't been any kids playing, no cars, no one else in sight. I swallowed hard, my stomach tightening. "Hello? Are you okay?" I called. The voice answered again, clearer this time. "Come play." We looked at each other, wide-eyed. None of us moved closer. Something about that voice wasn't just odd. It was wrong. It wasn't coming from a kid having fun. It was deliberate. I crept toward the slide, heart pounding, expecting to find a scared kid or maybe someone playing a prank. But when I slid down and looked around, the playground was empty. Nothing. No one. Then Marcus whispered, frozen in place. "It's back," the voice. "Catch me," it said. The three of us bolted. Bikes, pedals, wheels screaming against the asphalt. The hum of cicadas and the distant city noise couldn't drown out our racing hearts. We didn't stop until we reached my backyard, collapsing against the fence, gasping. And then, the knocking started. Quiet. Deliberate. Someone at the gate. I peeked through the tiny crack between the gate and the fence. A woman stood there. Middle-aged, long dark hair, eyes wide and unblinking, with a grin that didn't belong on a human face. "Were you at Pinecrest?" she asked, her voice soft, casual. "No," Dylan blurted. The grin widened. "Oh, all right then. Thanks anyway." She stayed there, just staring, until finally, with our nerves shredded, we slipped inside. The woman didn't follow. She never spoke again. We never returned to Pinecrest at night. The park became a quiet, almost sinister memory, the kind that makes your stomach twist when you pass it in the daylight. We tried to rationalize it, maybe a homeless person living nearby, a prankster, a runaway kid with a parent looking for them. But we all knew, it didn't make sense. The timing, the voice, the eyes of that woman. Even now, years later, whenever I walk past that park, or even glance toward its shadowed edges, I feel it. The watching. The knowing. The quiet presence, like the city itself hasn't swallowed the memory. I never reported it. There's no evidence, no footage, nothing that can prove anything happened except my own memory. But the chill it left behind, that stays. Some nights, I swear I can still hear faint footsteps when no one is there, or the soft, giggling whisper of a child calling my name. And I know, deep down, that if I ever went back alone, something might still be waiting in the shadows.